Hello there, welcome to A&A. Today I have for you a review of Dior Homme Parfum. If you have been into fragrances for a year or so, you have probably already heard of this. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of the background information about this fragrance, the notes, how it develops, the performance, and whether you should check it out, and ultimately is it worth purchasing. So let's begin, shall we? Dior Homme Parfum was released in the year 2014, following the Dior Homme Original, that's the Eau de Toilette, and then Dior Homme Intense, which is the Eau de Parfum. This is obviously the parfum concentration. This came in this 75 ml bottle initially, and since 2020 it comes in this 100 ml bottle. And in terms of the presentation, I really like these bottles. They're very simple, classy and sharp. In the front, it kind of looks like a silhouette of a man. The black stem kind of looks like a tie. So it's really nice. I really like it. The atomizer itself is pressurized, and it's some of the best that you can get today. Coming to the notes, this one has Tuscan iris, Italian orange in the top, leather and rose in the mid, and then Sri Lankan sandalwood, cedar, ambrette and oud in the base. So how does this wear? When you first spray it on, you get a blast of tart, bitter and a little bit of juicy orange. The orange in here is not very sparkly. It does have a punch to it, but it's not fresh at all. This already gives you an idea of what kind of a scent that this is going to be. It does fade away fairly quickly in the first couple of minutes. You already get the impression that this is not a fruity fresh fragrance, and it is going to be something dark, intense and strong. Along with the orange, you also get the note that the Dior Homme line is very well known for, and that is the iris. The iris in here is creamy, dry, little powdery, sharp, root-like and really earthy. It is also going to remind you of the iris in Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, even though it is not the exact same as those two. It is not as lipsticky, makeup-like as it is in Dior Homme or especially Dior Homme Intense. It is also not as prominent as it is in those two. Within 5 minutes or so, you can see that it already takes a back seat and plays kind of a more of a supporting note here rather than a very prominent note. So when you enter the mid, you get the note that is central to this fragrance, I would say, and that is going to be the leather. The leather in here is patchy, little scruffy, dry, little powdery, smoky, burnt birch kind of a leather, and it is strong. It is very strong. It almost gives you a burnt oil kind of a pungent smell, I would say. So this is not a smooth, sweet, buttery, thin leather that you might find in let's say other designer fragrances, and it's not something like a suede leather that you may find in something like, I don't know, Armani Code or something like that. So you have to like leather to pull this off. It is not funky or animalic, but it is the prominent note here. So keep that in mind before you purchase this one. You also get a little bit of the rose. The rose in here is dry, powdery, little bit waxy, a darker rose, not jammy or sweet. It is aromatic and very pleasant for me. This is not fruity, like I said, or jammy or overly feminine kind of rose. It plays also very well with the leather and the iris, and later with the woods that come in the later part of the fragrance. As you go through the mid, you get another recurring note in the Dior Homme line, and that is going to be the ambrette or muskmallow. It is a little powdery, nutty, goes really well with the iris from the top and functions as a replacement for musk, and forms this really nice kind of a layer along with the other notes on your skin. A couple of hours later, you also get a similar kind of a cedar. So this is going to be dry, clean, woody, and kind of a wood shaving like. This then combines with one of my favorite notes, woody notes, and that is sandalwood. So cedar and sandalwood usually go very well together. The sandalwood in here is dry, smoky, aromatic, and balsamic kind of a sandalwood. It has a touch of sweetness to it as well. Also, something to note is that the sandalwood is showcased very well in this fragrance, unlike many other designer scents. It has some similarities to Santal Noir from the Dior Privé line that you may be familiar with. And finally, you get a little bit of the oud, which gives this scent a little bit of that smokiness, darkness, some depth and character. Very small role. I think it's really nice here. I also think there is some birch and maybe a little bit of patchouli in there at the base, though they are not listed in the official notes anywhere. Now, when you enter the far dry down, most of the iris is gone. The leather starts to retreat a little by little, and you get this woody, powdery, smoky scent of sandalwood, cedar, with a little bit of that florals, the iris and the rose, with a musky base at the bottom. Ultimately, this woody, smoky aroma is what is going to be there till the scent finally finishes on your skin. Now, occasions. This is going to be for fall and winter. I cannot imagine wearing this in a hot day or the middle of summer. It also trends more formal and semi-formal, I would say, at least with something like a brown sports jacket or a long coat, winter jacket, more for events or special occasions, night outs kind of a scent. Not really one that I would wear for the office or more close encounter kind of situations. Coming to age range, this is going to be a little bit on the mature side. So I would say 25 plus. Also to note that it is more mature than Diorhomme and Diorhomme Intense. It's not vibrant or light like Diorhomme. Also not as chocolatey or let's say pastel-y like the Diorhomme Intense. Overall, it is going to be a mysterious, grand, bold, dark, pungent, little balsamic, woody, leather and floral kind of a scent. If you want to visualize it with some colors, imagine something like a cloud of brown with some wisps of black for the leather and the oud, some orange representing the sandalwood, cedar and maybe the orange, some hints of pastel-y, magenta-like shades for the florals, rose and the iris, all under a thin cloud of a grayish kind of a smoke. That is how it comes across to me. Picture a man wearing a brown jacket or a long coat with some leather boots and belt, standing in the middle or a center of the auditorium in the night, delivering a speech or something. That's what comes to my mind. Now, in terms of performance, it's fantastic. 10 hours plus, project's good for the first 90 minutes or so. Good sillage, people will definitely smell you. Your bed and sheets are probably going to smell of Dior Homme Parfum the next day. And it continues to stay as a skin scent till you shower basically. I would say it's one of the best performing designer scents out there. Now, What do I think about this? I myself absolutely love this fragrance. Followed by the release of Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, my expectations were pretty high while getting this, and I have to say that I am completely satisfied. It is unique, smells great throughout its life from start to end. Fantastic performance, and it has some of my favorite notes as well, and all of them are of very high quality. They are really nice, not just on their own, they are also blended together very well. So there is a good amount of contrast between the notes as well, the florals, the leather and the woods. So it's really interesting throughout its life. This is one of the fragrances where I would just keep smelling it throughout the day and try to pick up different notes and enjoy the transitions out and out. It really stands out from all the designer fragrances out there in the market today. Also to add, if you already have a Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, this is not redundant at all. I think Dior and François Demeschi have succeeded in what they set out to achieve with the Dior Homme DNA and the release of this fragrance. I really think it's a great release and definitely worth it in my opinion. For me, frankly, a top 10 of all time, I would say. I would also take this over, let's say, 80% of the niche fragrances that are out there. Now, coming to the price, I would say do not pay ridiculous prices under any circumstance. Though there are little differences, I would say the 100 ml is just as good as this 75 ml out there. It is true that it's not widely available as other Diors, but you can still find it at retail at Dior, at least here in Europe, for about 130 euros or so. Unfortunately, it seems that it's really harder than that to get in the US. It does pop up at discounters from time to time, so I would suggest that you pick it up that way, or if you have friends or if you visit Europe, you can pick it up from there. So there you go, Dior Homme Parfum. So that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you with another video. Take care and ciao.